Today is July 14th. The Yankees lose a series to the Reds and they lose a couple players to injuries. Wow, how about it? Let's talk Yanks. Achoo!
That wasn't right.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, presented by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. Joining me as guest host for the episode is Jake and BBD, our everyday producer in the corner. This version of Jake. Usually we get normal Jake. Today we have Square Jake, which makes sense. You know what? I blame you. The Yankees are playing how you look. Bad. And I had to dress up and be super cool guy to counterbalance your vibes. Look at me. I look like a guy that passes out in the middle of the living room at a party.
You look like me and I look like you. That's pretty crazy. Thanks to SeatGeek. SeatGeek code Yanks, and the Yankees are going to need you guys this upcoming homestand against the Red Sox. So make sure you use SeatGeek code Yanks, $20 off your first order. James Davis, everyone joining us live at 11:24 tonight, and everyone listening after that, and your family and your friends, everyone in the world, except all the bad people.
Get out of here.
You're not welcome here, including myself with this goatee. But
You're a bad guy, for sure.
no. The goatee is bad. I'm not a bad guy.
Actually, you wish you were a bad guy. You go around telling people I've done some bad things. And everyone's like, no, you haven't, dude. You live at home, your mom does your laundry.
Pushed a trash can over, dude. That doesn't help anyone in society.
Yeah.
What a series, man. The Cincinnati Reds, 3 games. I don't know if any of the teams wanted to win these games. All 3 games could have gone to either team. Not a good brand of baseball. The worst bullpen in baseball, the Cincinnati Reds, versus a worn-out Yankees pen that led to some absolute rough baseball at the end of some of these games. Yankees end up losing the series to the lowly Reds. Oh, my God. And I don't know. I mean, Jim, I'll see where you at. I mean, I think a lot of the Yankees' kind of glaring problems are just still glaring at the end of this. I'm not too freaked out by all of it. The Yankees are clearly looking for the All-Star break. So are the team. So is the team that this Red series is sandwiched around. The Red Sox are in a brutal spot right now that. I think they just got 4 games swept by the Rays. So, I mean, the Yankees' needs and problems are still the Yankees' needs and problems. They could have stumbled into an easy win in the first game if the guy who's been our rock all year has anything towards his normal performance or even a mid-performance, but it was as bad as he's ever looked in his pinstripes. And then tonight becomes just chaos baseball as we're banking on Abreu, Litke, J-Lo on his first day back. So for me, it is what it is. Obviously not the best of times, but not the worst of times either.
That was the worst series watch of the season for me. Since that Baltimore one, I guess. This is worse than that. I just didn't I was begging for the All-Star break. I'm kind of this sucks. If you guys want to get there, I'll just get there too. I thought these games were pretty bad watch on both sides. Neither team was trying to win. The Reds booted like a bajillion plays. And then the Yankees had to use Wandy, King, and Cole games 1 and games 2. So game 3, they had no choice. They had to go to they were going to bring Chapman in if they tied the game. I almost was all right, let's just do the show then. This is ridiculous. And I get it. Boston is coming up. I thought this was going to be a trap series. So kind of what I just expected, a very flat thing. And I'm not negative on the season, obviously. Like, I don't want people to kind of try to counter what I'm about to say and be like, "Oh, dude, there's 15 games above 500." Why? I'm not. I don't have a good energy going into Boston series, especially after the last two games and the first couple games. Like, I think it's going to be a rough last couple games of the break, and then they're going to regroup. They clearly need it and want it, and then start hot again, depending on some changes. But yeah, I don't feel good going into this Red Sox series either. I just think that everyone wants to fucking chill for a second.
Yeah,
Kind of like we did the first half. It's like they have like a senioritis right now.
a little bit, and that's kind of why I don't mind is that if you had to circle a trap series before the season, how about the Red series before the All-Star break between two Red Sox series? I mean, if we did a preseason episode of biggest trap series this year, this would have been at least top two.
And Oakland won too, and they swept that one.
And the way the Yankees are currently playing with the depleted bullpen. And yeah, man, that's where I think it's funny because we're saying that and we're kind of expecting the worst for 3 days. Talking Sox, not a podcast, probably a podcast.
Yeah, but they have to win.
They're saying
they're
saying a lot worse stuff than us right now as they just limped in. So it's gonna be a fun, ugly weekend in the Bronx. If you thought these games were a tough watch, I think we might get more of the same coming up. And as whoever loses 2 out of 3 in that series, I mean, people will be hitting the panic button. But yeah, I mean, obviously not pretty, but if you replace any of Clay Holmes' appearances tonight, I mean, the guys coming out of the bullpen, I think there will be a day when we look back and laugh at this series. But probably more importantly, Hicksy and Severino, man. Two guys we've been kind of ranting and raving about recently, and they both get hurt.
Yeah. Sevy goes to the IL, lat strain, and Hicksy saying just a bruise. I'm pretty skeptical about both, but that's how I live.
Right.
But the amount of guys we've had, like, it's a bone bruise and then they play on it and then, oh, never mind. And the amount of guys, and lat strain is never a good, like, that's like not a good leading injury. So hoping for the best, but I'm not going to be optimistic that it's 15 days and they're back. The last time Sevy was down with a grade 1 lat strain, it was April and he returned in September. So not a great track record of that.
Yeah, I mean, the Sevy side of it is obviously a little more scary, what he would mean to this season. We'll see. I mean, he tried to pitch through it, which is crazy in hindsight, and you half get the athlete side of it, but you're also like, dude, you can't be doing that. That we'll have to see. Like, you had the best comment on it. Scrolling through Twitter, and half the people were relieved it was a lat strain, and half the people were horrified that it was a lat strain. So I think the truth, per usual, probably lies somewhere in the middle. Maybe we'll hit up Dr. Chris Ahmad. He follows me on Twitter. And then, yeah, Hicksy, I don't know if I'm going to smell funny business anywhere. Like, the Sevy thing kind of made sense. He fully admitted it. He was like, I was not feeling good, and then his fastball was down, and then he pulls himself out of the game. So you're like, okay. Hicksy, I mean, rails a foul ball off his leg as hard as you can do it.
Needed to help off the field.
And, I'm not saying this is what's happening. It did look like it caught a little more meat than some of the more horrific times that's happened in baseball history. But, I mean, the Yankees were also searching for an outfielder coming into that game, and then Aaron Hicks goes down. If they announce he's going to be out for 6 weeks, the supply and demand or the price tag just went up for the Yankees a little bit. So there's a chance there's some funny business there too. So pretty brutal because we just did a thing on how good Aaron Hicks had been, about 6 weeks of all-star level play. And then you could say the same thing for Sevy. His last 9 starts have been a 2.6 ERA. So a couple tough bullets to swallow along with some of the worst baseball we've seen this year.
Yes. Great points. Anything else we need to talk about?
Anything else we can talk about?
Like there's lineups and decisions, but that's after the Burns. But Injury wise, Loizaga comes back. Sears goes down.
Johnny Loizaga comes back. Sears goes down. Weber is back with the team. Cat with 9 lives. Yeah, I think that's all the, Rortvet rehabbing. Herman, we're not fully sure what's going on, but he was around the team a little bit, so I don't know.
I think Boone said he's doing at least one more rehab start, but I think that's what he said today.
There you go.
Because Sevy wasn't going to pitch against Boston, right? It's Cole, Monty.
No, he's
Ione.
Yeah, he was lined up to go into the All-Star break anyways. So you're gonna IL him, and then that's where the Hicks stuff gets interesting. Are they?
Oh, they traded for Waiter.
They traded for our guy, my doppelganger, as of tomorrow. Not with this goatee. My doppelganger, Tyler
That would be
Wade.
rude.
And, I mean, he can, because he was DFA'd by the Angels, he'll go to the Yankees AAA. And a little insurance, base running-wise and defensively. I mean, he's the same Tyler Wade you guys are probably all familiar with.
I watched some of the AAA game today.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
What?
I follow you on the internet. I saw
No,
what you
but I
wrote,
didn't just
Joe.
look at I tweeted out the box score. I watched some of it.
Yeah.
I'm more interested. I was more interested in that than the Yankees game tonight.
Yep.
It's funny, like they got guys down there, like Guzman hitting a home run, and then Andujar, like he rocked, like yesterday he rocked. It was fun. Like LaCastro. It's like, wait, I kind of am interested in these guys.
Yeah. Peraza, Florial's been going nuts.
Yeah, Florial's been going nuts. Yeah.
The other Peraza's an MLB guy.
And I do, Jim, I know you saw this interaction earlier, but, I made a Ryan Weber joke, and there's someone that wasn't happy with it, and someone had our back online. It was like, it's a joke. I will say this, Ryan Weber's there to eat innings if the Yankees need to eat 3 innings, up 7 or down 7, which is a role you need. Especially watching the crew that came in tonight, and I mean, we're talking literal 26-man roster stuff here, so buckle up. But there's a couple guys in AAA that are doing well that could have put us in a better spot than some of the guys tonight. But that's some real deep-cut Yankee stuff.
I almost replied to that guy who was like, you guys are so mean to Ryan Weber.
Yeah.
Like we're hosting a podcast about a little league team.
Right.
We can't make fun of the way a guy throws.
He's got feelings.
Well, he throws like a weirdo.
Right.
I don't like watching it.
Throws like a little leaguer.
Come on.
He throws kind of like
Mean.
like when people talk about like, well, how would you teach an alien to do this? No, describe every step of it.
That's the noise Czar makes. Burn game 1, Jake.
Jim, let's get into the burns. The burns are brought to us by Athletic Greens AG1. Jim, you're a dad now, man. You got to start taking your health a little more seriously.
That's why I worked out all day today.
Athletic Greens can take you to the next level, Jim. With 1 scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help you start your day right. Improves your gut health, nervous system, immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of the things. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. Costs you less than $3 a day. Invest in your health. It's better and cheaper than your cold brew habit. To make it easier on you guys, Athletic Greens is going to give you free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Yanks. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Yanks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Visit athleticgreens.com/Yanks today. Today.
It's only today.
Garrett J. Cole would try to work out of the Yankees losing ways versus Graham Cracker Ashcraft for Cincy as they'd play 3 s'more games in the Bronx. Bottom one, the truth hurts. Wait, is it Lizzo or Rizzo with the 2 RBI single? 2-0, make it 3. It's Donald's son. RBI single of his own. 3-0. It'd stay that way. Oh, Garrett. 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks. It was a telephone game for Cole because he was dialed. He passes the torch to my king, who was royally good. And here comes the robot horse for the save. Oh my God, the system is down. Clay Holmes goes Space Jam Power Zap Mode Nightmare outing, but Wandy has his back. 2 outs. Oh no. It's 4-3 Reds, and that's your final. How about your worst loss of the season? Thanks, bye.
Thanks, bye. Got the rug pulled out from underneath us on this one, Jakey boy.
Rug on my face.
I used to collect caterpillars.
Yeah. It's a
And your
popular little
face
kid thing.
Looks like 4 caterpillars just like circling each other.
A tribute to the old Yankees teams.
Those are worms.
Caterpillars are the most worm thing that's ever existed.
Worms.
Yeah. Same
Are
answer.
more wormy.
Justin.
Hey, this game,
Yes.
the lineup came out, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they're going to rest guys for Boston again.
We did a little guess the lineup, and we kind of stumbled into the Judge double rest.
Judge double rest, battling things, going through a little bit of a slumper. Gallo in over Carpenter. No Marwin, Skleber 2. So it was a weird lineup. And then, yeah, I mean, Clay Holmes gets zapped of all of his powers for a night. So what are you going to do? They should have got more runs. The first 3 batters combined for 2 runs, and then they stand pat. And I said this in my postgame. I should have tweeted. I literally tweeted, I think the Yanks are just going to try and win this game with 2 runs at this point. Cole to the fresh bullpen, and they scored a 3rd. But it just felt like one of those games where they're like, bah, that's good enough. See ya.
So many talking points from this game. I want to give a shout out to Curry and Rucco. Their post-game show was just an exhibition. Like compared to the episode we're putting out today, like it's a masterpiece in the MoMA compared to us, like in little kid drawings. Yeah, I mean this had the full Yankee script. This should have been a 3-0 game. Yankees win. Clay Holmes' ERA going into this was 0.46. Insanity, and he's just completely wild, like as wild as Chappie had ever been on the mound. It was almost unreal to see. Wandy comes in his dream scenario, bases loaded, no outs, 1-run lead, fire me up. He goes full Wandy, gets the double play ball back to him. Trevi can't turn it. He can't make the pick out of his glove. It's a tough play for a catcher. Trevi would be the first one to tell you he can make that play. Next one's to Donaldson. It's a chopper. It would have been a super tight double play to turn. Senzel runs incredible. He goes home with it. I believe it's the right play. I think everyone that's smart believes it's the right play because you also just survived. You're about to get 2 outs without the run scoring. So you take the out at home and you try to win that game. Wandy has Jonathan India in the mix master. He's swinging at everything. Wandy's got to put 1 more in the dirt, and he would be the hero of all heroes. Leaves a changeup high, completely off the plate. Would have hit a lefty batter, but Jonathan India full swing mode, full extended, end of the bat, bloops it in, 2-run score to take the lead. And then my guy Glaber, who's playing awesome and looks incredible, he's got a couple because he tried to stretch out a double into a triple because the ball rolled away. It seemed innocent at the time because the Yankees were up 3-0, and it's like, yeah, have yourself.
He got stopped in the dirt.
Have yourself a day, kid. And it was a really nice relay throw. Reds deserve credit for that. Major League Baseball team playing a better brand of baseball since their 3-22 start, almost 500. I got stats and facts. And then Glaber, the Yankees are rallying. We're doing it. Glaber hits a chopper up the middle. The ball most destined to hit a bag you've ever seen, to the fact that Glaber's watching it, misses the bag. He gets out on a double play by a half step, where he was called safe originally. They overview it, and he's looking at it while he's running down the line. You can't blame him for it, but I was complimenting how happy and awesome Glaber's been this year, and you're like, is he going to go puppy dog? He bounces back later, but man, just so much chaos in the final inning of baseball of this game.
I didn't think Donaldson should go for the double play. You get the out at home there. So
Yes.
I saw a couple people saying that. And I was like, what are you guys talking about?
It would have had to been perfect.
Imagine,
And
they should have turned the first
think
one.
It was. Yes. That's where you didn't turn the first one, and you're playing. You kind of have house money when you're about to get 2 outs and no run is scored. And
the other thing is, people were complaining like, you got to get Clay Holmes out of the game sooner. It's like, it's a 3-batter minimum. 1,
Yeah.
2. Wandy needs to warm up. It's not like Wandy warms up with Clay Holmes. He's been
Right.
absolutely lights out. I think that was the fastest they could have got Wandy in the game.
Yeah.
It just kept going bad and worse.
And I mean,
so that's just people like, he had a very off night. If there's anyone that deserves an off night, it's Clay Holmes.
and yeah, we got Votto'd a little bit this series. He used his veteran experience to get a couple big hits in this one. There was a ball. IKF outdives a ball in that last inning, which you don't see that every day on a baseball field.
Yeah, I mean, it was under his glove.
Yeah.
I don't think it needed to be a diving stop.
Yeah, I mean, it needed to be a stop. I don't think it was a double play ball, but it needed to be stopped.
It was he dove past it.
Right.
Would have been a nice stop. It's not I don't think would he have gotten an out? If he stops it, flips it to Glaber, maybe? I have no idea.
You don't know, but tough replay. And yeah, all that being said, they still Wandy's 1 pitch away, man. 1 pitch away, and he doesn't get it though.
No. Let's go to game 2.
Game 2.
Game number 2.
Yankees would look for stopper Sevy to end the 3-game skid, and hopefully a minor blip in the season as Mike takes the hill for the Reds. Bottom 2, the farmer caught a moose and raised a fair child. Sevy gives up 3 straight homers to the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Cincy. Like a Liverpool blowout, it's 4-0 Reds. But in the third, like the classic 1995 song, I've got 5 on it, highlighted by an IKF RBI, a bases clearing double. It's 5-4 Yanks. A little seesaw action from the Reds as Votto hits an RBI single, and it's no longer even Stevenson with his sac fly. 6-5 Cincy. Hit the music, Giancarlo. Let the rhythm take you over, Giancarlo. Te quiero. Tying homers. It's 6-6. Buenos Cantos. His Highness does it again as Mike King puts a 0 on the board, and Alexis Diaz is a 0 with back-to-back wild pitches to lose the game. Yankees walk it off, kinda. 7-6 final.
I forgot that's how this game ended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and all the runs on Minor, like 4 out of the 5 on him came on unearned runs, and then they walked it off. Jeez, Reds, be better.
Something like that.
IKF had his best at bat of the season, I think. Worked it to 3-1, and then jumped that ball, put it to the outfielder's feet. and clears the bases. I think that's his best at bat.
Good one tonight too.
Well, no, he didn't work. He like swung at this pitch.
Yeah, he had 2 strikes on him. Tonight was fine, but
I'm
he
saying
drove a ball in the gap to clear the bases.
he used his A swing. Like he was like, hey, I'm gonna hit with power.
Right.
Tonight he did the same thing. It just happened to go up the middle instead of to the shortstop.
Yep.
But yeah, I was like, oh, 3. I sat up when I saw 3-1 count. I was like, what's he gonna do? Like, is he going to swing big? And then he did, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Sure did. We might get him in a little bit. Severino, we talked about at the top. His shoulder doesn't feel good coming into the game. He tries to pitch through it. The fastball velo is down. His first at bat of the game, another Curry Rucco gem. He opened up all off speed, and they were like, Luis Severino's literally never done that, so something was up. And then, he gives up 3 straight homers with his fastball velo down like 6 miles per hour. So yeah, that
One to
wasn't
Stuart
good.
Fairchild,
Yes,
first homer of his season.
life season.
I don't know of his career. I think it's season.
Well,
it might be more.
I
but
think first of his career.
cool. Congrats, Stuart.
Congrats.
Bad name.
It was like only the second time in baseball history that the 7, 8, 9 hitters in a lineup have gone back to back to back. So some history with an exclamation point there. JP Sears comes in and is JP Sears. Kind of gets caught up in his final inning there, but does what he's asked to do. And then the bullpen from there, like you mentioned, they roll it back out. Wandy comes in for an out. Chapman looks better. Clay Holmes, he comes back, and my God, another factor in this game was an umpire with a massive strike zone. Biggest strike zone I've seen all year. Talk about kind of a blessing, because Clay Holmes could have been in a lot worse situation without that cat behind the dish. And then Mike King does good Mike King stuff that puts a 0 on the board. That DJ LeMahieu, the speed, scores as the Manfred runner. Wild pitch.
Walked Rizzo to get to Stanton to put the double play in order. And then they had Stanton 0-2. And they went back. They went slider, wild pitch, runners advance. And I was like, all right, there goes the slider. They're not going to throw that again. So Stanton's probably sitting fastball here. And then they threw the slider again, and the game was over. I was like, oh, brave decision.
Yeah.
Do you think they were like, we didn't think that through? We think it could happen again?
I just think it was, Caster was all over it. They were talking about how the Reds are they're being very safe with Diaz this year. He was surprised that they even went back-to-back with him, but 10-inning game, which ends up coming for both of these bullpens on the final day. The first one, Stevenson really could have had. It kind of slipped under his glove. It's one of those, you think it's going to pop up a little bit, and it just kind of found the hole and got away. So I think, just guessing, but a young Reds team was probably like, oh, we're good. Stevenson gives a little my bad. They go back to it, and it's a rough one by Diaz. So, it would have been nice to see someone put a little wood on it to get the game winner, but what can you do?
Got to win ugly sometimes.
Yeah. Win ugly is better than losing pretty, I've heard.
Well, that's what people say about you right now.
Joe's.
Someone in the chat earlier said, Jake, that goatee sucks.
Okay.
This is a comment I read.
But you keep telling me it's in that middle area that you got to fight through to get it to the good point, right?
You fought, and you lost.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like game 3.
Yeah, let's listen to game 3.
Anything else from game duh? I mean, we missed
No,
it.
I was surprised to see Gallo back-to-back lineup starting in left field back-to-back, and then I realized they're trying to find value or just try to find anything. I'm very interested to see if Gallo starts. He started in the third game. If he starts in Boston, or if they like completely hide him, because that would with Hicks out, it might be different. But
Yeah, I think with Hicks out, because they played him in left field at the stadium, which I know you noted he hadn't done that in a while.
oh, he looked bad. That's the other note.
He didn't look sharp. He hasn't, not as sharp in left field as right field, but they haven't played Carpenter in left field at the stadium. That's something to watch out for.
They won't after tonight.
Yeah. So I think, that means Joey's out there.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
You can get a Marwin start. Maybe we'll get a Marwin start in left field.
Yeah.
Sale's the last game, so they probably do that.
Yeah. I might have an award tied into this.
Okay. Teaser for those.
I have 4 awards prepped
If this
with
is-
names. I felt bad last step.
I have one prepped.
Last step, I didn't have any prepped, and that's just a bad act by me. So I have 4 prepped today.
For those of you watching your first episode of Talkin' Yanks, a little teaser. We do awards towards the back half of the show.
Yeah, and someone in a review recently said that they don't like the awards because they feel contrived.
Wow.
which got an audible laugh out of me.
That's good.
Because they're not contrived awards. We're not making them up on the spot or just like randomly naming things that we want to talk about in the form of an award. They're well thought out, they're respected, and we send trophies to the players.
Other times they're not. Let's do game 3.
The whole thing feels a little trite.
Let's do game 3.
A rubber match in the Bronx. Haven't said that a lot. Speaking of a rubber, it's time to get nasty with Nestor Cortez Jr. on the bump versus a guy the Yankees would love to Castile at the deadline with Luis toeing the slab, add in the boogie down. Like my college experience, we're shut out through 4. My God, does Brandon Drury hate Matt Carpenter. The opportunity he always wanted. It's a sac fly to right. It's 1-0 Reds. Let's tie it up at 1. Stanton. Oh, Chopper scores 1. Weird play there. Thank you, Jonathan India. Joey Votto does it again. It's 2-1. Make it 4-1. The farmer in the dough. The farmer in the dough. Hi-ho, the Dario. The farmer in the dough. It's 4-1. But, Jim, it's these 22 Yankees. Big Aaron Judge to right center. Whoo! What fortitude by him to make it 4-2. And then, for everyone at the bar, Gleba Bombs. We are tied up at 4. Buenos Cantos and in the 10th. Oh, Lucas is not lit key. Votto with the RBI double. Stevenson says, I'll have what he's having. And then Donnie barrels another of his own. It's 7-4. Let's go home. Not so fast, my friend. The Carpenter nails one again. Matty C in the power of 3. 2-run homer. It's 7-6. And it stops there. The Yankees lose 7-6 to the Cincinnati Reds and lose the series 2 games out of 3.
Ooh. Mouse.
Oh, ooh.
So,
Yeah.
this game, where to begin?
Start of
Gallo
the
gets
game.
moved down in the lineup as ICAF finally starts to hit. He goes to 9 and Gallo goes to 7 because righty lefty. Carpenter's up, blah, 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 blah. I want to kind of just talk about the bullpen right away because I've seen a lot of people very angry about what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if they understand that Wandy, King, and Holmes were unavailable. And, like, that's not worth getting upset about. They should be unavailable a Reds game before the break and they just pitch back to back. Like, I'm not asking them to break that rule for tonight to use those 3 guys. It's up to the offense to win the game and Nestor, and he did well. The only thing I don't like is Castro should have come out before Loizaga. Not thrilled with Castro in that spot, but knowing the situation that the other pitching. 3 are unavailable, he's been pitching. So when they showed Castro warming up, I was like, why the fuck did you go to Loizaga first? He wasn't good before the injury. So like, it's not only is he healthy, that's question 1. It is he good Loizaga or is he bad Loizaga? Because we haven't seen good Loizaga for months. So like it's a 2-tiered thing until we can throw Loizaga in a tied game.
And the ironic thing is he looks good. He gets beat on a double hit pitch.
I didn't think he looked good, but I saw people saying that. But
I think he looked good. I mean, the result isn't.
His pitches didn't have any wow factor, and his pitches used to be like, whoa. They all just looked right in the center. They were just putting bat to ball.
I didn't think I guess I disagree. I think his sinker was running. Every part of the bat he hit was running away and jammed the righties. It just didn't get the result. Literally a double hit ball, which I don't know if I've seen that one for a successful base hit. And then, with the bullpen, we've talked earlier this week about, Clay, King, and Wandy being the 3 amigos back there and how kind of wild that is. I guess if someone wants to be mad about the order, like you said, if you're going to get Castro up, I'd rather not put Johnny Lasagna in that spot. But, again, you almost have to use him considering – Litke, and then like if you're willing to get Chapman warm, but I know it was extra innings, so they were trying not to use him. So it's just we've talked about it a lot. This bullpen, the depth is very different than it was drawn up on paper, and I for a couple weeks was talking about how it was going to show up at some point, and it basically did.
That double hit's funny. We saw that last year because didn't Gio like go one way and then it went the other way in a spot? It's weird that you see one of those how does that happen?
You get beat so bad that the ball doesn't go,
but you like finish swinging. That's cool. That I don't know. I think like that's just like a respect thing. Lowe's John. Like I didn't hear Boone's post game, but I'm guessing like, we believe in Loizaga. Like that's Loizaga.
Well, pregame Boone said kind of what you're talking about. He was like, we have to use Johnny in a high leverage spot. Like look at our options.
Look at what we got. Yeah, and they would have had to use him down the line, I guess. But and then Litke, I mean, he threw 40 pitches last series. There's effects from that, so. Whatever. Abreu looked nice.
High leverage. He's a medium leverage guy.
He's a medium leverage guy, and it was high leverage. I understand that's true as well. This game needed to be won by the bats because that was the bullpen situation. It was a tough bullpen situation. Like the back end, the back 3 lost. Has gotten beat up recently. Not really terribly, besides King or Clay Holmes. But we lost some games with them pitching. One in Boston, and then the first one here. They've pitched a ton. We need help with the back 3, but to not have them is like, well, we're not gonna close out a game here.
High leverage Albert, and then you got to circle. In the 8th inning when they're putting together that rally, you got bases loaded, DJ up, and Strickland pumps them with I think 4 straight heaters.
Strickland looked pretty nasty.
Yeah, when he wasn't wild. I mean, not a lot of guys can throw 4 straight fastballs to DJ LeMahieu, who, by the way, again, the Yankees, Trevino on second, 2 outs. DJ hits one of the hardest balls all night. It's just right at the center fielder, and that's baseball Susan a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Luis Castillo looked good.
Luis Castillo sure did look good. How about that? Seems like a guy that's got a little bit of flair and knew a situation a little bit.
Yeah, and with Jerry Lane calling just like terrible non-strikes for him.
Jerry Lane, I mean, it was kind of beautiful because he went out to the mound after the Marwin at bat where he threw a blitz ball, basically a perfect blitz ball changeup pitch and dotted it Jerry Lane didn't call it, and then Jerry Lane went out to the mound and basically told him, like, hey, sorry, big dog. And then Luis Castillo was laughing, so it kind of turned into a beautiful moment. Jerry Lane, man. Man.
I'll tell you something. You see him, and you're like, that guy's too old.
A little bit.
This is the professional level sports.
Happens
the
fast.
Ball happens or goes so fast.
Yeah. I'll say this. The thing I was the most mad about, I felt like Dan Rourke took over my body, is when Albert Abreu struck that guy out. 3-2. Pitch is dotted. You don't know if it's a ball or a strike, whether you're in the stadium, at home, the hitter, the pitcher, one of the infielders. He didn't react. Strike 3, crosses his arms.
He did when they show the replay, he did a tiny punch like this.
Come on, dog.
He's old, Jake. It's the end of the game.
I didn't call him old.
Literally gets discounts places
I didn't call
because
him
he's lived so long. And you want him to do extra movement? Don't be rude. If that was your grandpa,
not
you want
extra
him
movement, just
exerting himself.
Just the normal movement.
The batter heard it, and that's all that matters. That's Verdugo's guy.
I think if the batter played it cool and walked to first, I don't think Jerry Lane would have corrected him.
Luis Castillo's going to the Dodgers, just to let everyone know.
Okay. Also not a fact, but could happen.
Yeah, no, it's my guess.
Right.
That's my guess. All the trade packages for him that I've seen are higher than like recent comps, which is how all trade rumors always are.
Year and a half, a pretty legit ace.
Oh, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying if you look at past year and a half pitchers, Sonny Gray, Stroman.
He's a tier above those guys, to be fair.
Bauer when he got traded, like Peraza's not going in that trade.
No.
So
the Scherzer Turner trade had some real prospects, but it also had two of the best players.
It's two.
Yeah.
It's two guys. So he's really good. I like him.
Yeah, that was impressive. I got sad, dude. If he came to the Yankees, he'd have to shave his head, and that's fucked up. He's got great hair. I'm cool with the facial hair. Like, if Garrett, BBD mentioned this, like, if Garrett can kind of grow his hair out back there, like, why can't Luis Castillo have that hair on the Yankees?
Because Steinbrenners don't like it.
No comment.
It's Mrs. Steinbrenner. That's what her name. Swindell.
Sure.
What's her name? I think she's like the hair police. Hal has a rat tail. I mean, that's like the biggest kept secret ever. He takes off his suit jacket and he's got like a rat tail from birth.
I mean, look at me right now.
Yeah, you have a rat tail, dude.
I am primed for a rat tail.
You have a rat tail and a deck of cards in your pocket everywhere you go.
Take the card part back.
No,
Take the card part back.
No way.
I admitted to the rat tail. Take the card part back.
Not a rat tail on earth that doesn't carry a deck of cards around with
Take the card part.
All right, then like
back.
a custom dart.
Yes.
A custom dart
Absolutely.
set.
Let's say dice.
Absolutely. I had dice. I changed to a dart.
You had dice, but you never know how to play.
I lost my dice.
Yeah.
Lost my dice. Anything else from these games?
No, they stunk. I didn't like them. Both teams played awful baseball.
Jim.
Did a game deserve to be won? The Reds didn't
that's
deserve to win game one. Clay Holmes walked everyone. Yankees didn't deserve to win game two.
I have a bad brain. I admit this a lot. This could have been a sweep either way so easily. I mean, so dramatically easily. It's like scary. So that's where I'm kind of over it. Sox in the All-Star break. And hey, if you're looking to make a bet, maybe you see a guy post something on Twitter that's like, I think Giancarlo Stanton's going to homer tonight. And then he does. Oh, wait, that was me, people. And I placed that bet at the DraftKings Sportsbook, where this summer, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a risk-free bet of up to $1,000. If you had placed a $1,000 bet and rode with me, you would have gotten I think $3,000. That's nice. You could buy a used boat with that. You can throw down on all major action for baseball, golf, MMA, and more. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Make your first deposit and get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's promo code JOHNBOY. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Brad of the Yankees.
What's the first award we do here?
P of the Y. You get to go first.
Interesting. I think I'm currently seeing 2 options. I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing 3, man.
I'm seeing 3. No, I'm seeing 4. I'm seeing 4.
I'm seeing 3.
Seeing 4.
Now I might be seeing 4. Jimmy, I'm going to go with...
Oh, shit. I'm seeing 5.
I'm going with Gleyber Torres.
Oh, wow. Cool.
James, Gleyber Torres, and I talked about this a lot on Wake and Jake this week. Gleyber Torres has been incredible. I think now on the year among second basemen, he's basically been a top 5 second baseman this season. We've butter-knifed the numbers for you guys many times. He hits the game-tying homer tonight, and what a thing of beauty it was. High fastball, kept the bat level through the zone, took it to the porch. Magnificent. The definition of Gleyber, not trying to do too much, and he makes this incredibly difficult game look easy sometimes. It's awesome. I was worried about my guy Gley coming off of that first game. Getting thrown out for the triple. He's smiling, having fun. Would have been a leadoff triple or a leadoff double. Did the Yankees score and push another cross? Does Clay Holmes even get up for that 9th inning if they're up 4-0? I don't know. And then he hits the ball destined for the bag, and he's looking at it, and he's out by a half step, and it doesn't really matter, but it also does matter. And I think we were all having flashbacks to last year's Yankees team where some of those little things happened, and you're shaking your head, and you're like, oh, guys, you can't do that. What do you got?
What play is this?
So, James, in the first game, you know the going for the triple.
Yeah.
In the 9th inning, DJ walks, and Gleyber comes up. He hits a chopper right up the middle. It looks so much like it's destined to hit the bag. Michael K's voice starts to get excited, and it just misses the bag, and then they turn it into the double play. Gleyber was called safe at first because it was bang-bang at first.
Yeah, I remember that part.
And then he was a half step out. And, yeah, I mean, this isn't just Jakey deep cuts. Like, Jack Curry was talking about it after the game. And, dude, if it hits the bag, we would be sitting here saying, like, these 22 Yankees, there's a little bit of magic in the stadium. It somehow just misses it. And instead of, like, a free bonus runner, 2 on, 1 out, the Yanks are going to find a way to do it. And then they cut to Gleyber, a sad puppy dog in the dugout. Kind of the first time I saw him sad this year. And he bounces back. He has a great series. He had an RBI in the second game, and then he had the game-tying homer tonight. He finishes the series. What was he? 5 for 13. He had the most hits in the series. He had the most runs scored in the series, tied for the most RBI in the series. And yeah.
Were you saying I was interpreting it as as Gleyber didn't run because he thought it was going to hit the bag, but that's not that. It's just the magic was almost there. Or is there an angle where he didn't really run?
Oh, he's watching it. He's watching it up the line. And, like, if he didn't, he would have been safe. I'm not saying the Yankees win the game, but
okay.
It's clear as day.
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, something wrong. Like, I don't blame him for watching it. It's just kind of instincts because it looked like it was going to pop the bag. But you also kind of have to run full tilt to first.
I think I was like looking down. I heard the like the ball get put in play, I looked up, saw it was out, and I turned it off because you were watching the post game and texting, and I was like, I bowed out of all that. That was just, I was more interested in Scranton.
Sure. Electric City.
Glaber's been good. I think he'll end strong because he plays well against the Red Sox. So I'll drag and drop him when you drag and drop your character in we. Not worried about him this weekend.
It's awesome.
Thanks.
Glaber's a guy that, as the kids would say, he has that dog in him. He's gonna perform this weekend.
He like kind of does but doesn't.
It's a weird dog.
Like
He
he's
has
like
at
that. He like
times
doesn't
not.
know. Yeah.
He's got dog in him when he doesn't know he has dog.
Yeah. I think if you tried to have
He
dog in
loses
him-
it, but that dog's in him.
Where was it where you ate dog, Jake?
I've never eaten dog.
Oh.
That I know of. Who's your pride?
Loitering.
Seems
Shit.
like
I was
got
about,
four
dude, I was about to
options.
give my first award because I got so many prep.
I
Cole.
know,
Cole,
dog.
Cole's my pride.
Those were the first two that came up for me.
Yeah. Cole had a really good outing. 11 strikeouts, 1 walk, 0 earned runs, 4 hits, 7 innings pitched. He looked pretty crisp. He looked pretty sharp. Cole's my pride. Good job, Cole. I mean, he's going to teach us how to pitch.
Yeesh. Did we win?
Congrats.
Did we win that?
Did we bid on it? 20,
I don't think
20K
we
to get
did.
pitching lessons from Cole?
I don't think we're gonna win that because we didn't bid.
Yeah, we forgot to bid on it.
Forgot to bid on it.
Be cool, though.
Damn.
Do you want to know anything about Cole's outing? Besides, it was
Give me a
good?
couple fun facts before we get to MFer.
He threw like all fastballs. Thought it was funny. Like a lot of younger batters. And he was like, I just throw fastballs. He threw 50% fastballs. I think that's got to be his highest on the year. Fastball. Average 98 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm. Must have been feeling good.
Yeah. It's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
And no cutters at all. Cut it out. That was an award from a couple episodes ago.
Sure was.
Yeah, I gave it out. I remember.
Okay.
Let's do the second thing.
You Yankee motherfucker.
There's kids listening, BBD.
Holy smokes. What the H was that, man? My Yankee MFer. Let me see how many options we got.
Did a good amount, man.
There's a couple, huh?
Yeah, Hicks, Sevy.
Jimmy. That's so messed up, man.
It is. It was a joke.
So messed up.
I was just joking.
You're joking, you swear?
I was about Hicks.
Wow.
For Sevy, it's like, dude, like if you woke up in pain, just skip the game against the Reds and let people know.
I'm taking Sevy. Next. That's how you MF.
Wow, dog.
That's a lesson to the kids. I think I'm going to start tucking my thumb a little more in my curveball, Jim.
You seen how Jack does it?
I've talked to Jack.
He fully wraps like
Right.
big time.
Right.
My MFer, I'm between two guys. Both are Band-Aids. Who do you want? Wait. No, one I have a potential award for, so I'll save him.
Ooh.
Clay Holmes. And I think it's the only time he's going to get one all season. And it's just like good for record keeping. Like, yeah, you know what? He did get one. Yeah, he did get one.
You know, a little fact: Clay Holmes has 1 MF for this year and 0 prides.
Wow.
Who gave him the MF for last time? Was it me?
You just did.
Oh, I thought you were saying he has one already.
No, this is the first.
This is the one.
Yeah.
Really good.
That's what I figured. I thought you were correcting me, and you're
Right.
like, no, he has one already.
No.
Yeah. He just boycotted the game. I didn't like that. He must have been protesting something. Maybe he's
Okay. It was really.
I was
weird.
gonna say maybe he was
Yeah.
protesting Hope Week, and that's a bad joke.
No, that's not even a joke.
Definitely a joke. I don't think it's true.
Yeah, it was tough to watch, man. Bizarre. And then you start just questioning everything, and it's so funny he hasn't been a Pride or an MFer because he has been like the secret glue of this team. Like
Tough because he pitches one inning is a series.
Aroldis Chapman hasn't been a part of this season. Jonathan Loizaga has not been a part of this season. Zach Britton has not been a part of this season, and it's all been covered.
Dude, Chad Green.
Chad Green was a part of the season.
Well, less than Loizaga and Chappie.
I don't think so. Because when he was out there, he was at least Chad Green.
Okay.
Clay Holmes has kind of been this unbelievable safety blanket that has ended games for us. Mike King obviously deserves a big assist there, but and the Yankees killed the interviews afterwards. Garrett crushed it. Dude had a .4. A really good quote by him. And yeah, man, he earned it. It sucks that it looked like this. You would have rather he did a Sevy. You would have rather he gave up 3 straight homers and just been like, whoa, that was weird, huh? Instead, It was like, oh, what? But the robot was broken for a night.
Dude had a .4.
It's good. It's good call.
My granddaddy built this house in 1902.
Okay. Don't. Tell the people what you're quoting.
Harold and Kumar escaped from Guantanamo Bay. It's the only scene I like. I have it on my phone. I sent it to Jake tonight.
You should post a clip. It's a funny clip.
It's funny, right?
I laughed out loud. Yeah. It's a funny clip.
All right, let's go to regular old awards. Roa.
Should I send it to BBD?
Send it to BBD.
I'll send it to BBD. Jim, Roa regular old awards are brought to us by we're going to the All-Star game. I'd tell you about the VIP tickets, but we sold out, Jim.
Wow.
We sold out, so we're going to be at the Boomtown Brewery watching the All-Star game. So if you're in LA, I know it's probably limited pool, talking Yanks fans in LA, but if you are, you should be there. We're going to be there, and like everyone from John Boy Media. So seems like a no-brainer, right?
Does. Boomtown Brewery.
Boomtown Brewery.
It's a Boomtown Brewery.
This whole thing. Jim, I'm going to give out my first award.
A lot of Boomtowns didn't survive.
It's the IT Support Award.
IT support.
You know this one.
Well, I'm going to guess IKF just because you hinted that you were going to talk about him today.
Wrong. So wrong. James, you would have had it if you thought about it for more than a second.
I only thought about it for a second.
I know. That's why everything adds up. James, I just said it. The robot was broken. Not sure exactly what happened. He comes out the second day, and the strike zone, holy smokes, the umpire was a godsend. It was a brutal watch for a little bit.
Who's winning the award?
We'll get there, Jim. It's called being an artiste. Read a book.
Oh, my goodness.
The umpire is awful. Both teams are mad at him. The zone is unreal. It's the biggest strike zone I've seen in years. And Clay Holmes gets the benefit of that. A couple pitches. Jim, the IT support, the guy who saved the computer, was Jose Trevino, who was making some picks behind the plate that, Jim, if this was the 21 Yankees, this would have been a sweep for the Cincinnati Reds. Because, we love Gary, but those sinkers coming at Gary would have ended up in all sorts of different parts of the ballpark.
Brain would have fried.
And what Jose was doing back there was artwork of his own, and he was the IT support for the broken computer that helped him get through that follow-up outing to get him right. Trevi, our guy.
I was watching him because I watch a lot of Yankees games.
Sure. Same.
It is so cool how he gets around the ball. He's different than most catchers because no matter what, he gets around it. So one thing they teach these catchers is to not give the target, but then as soon as they start their delivery, get rid of the target so the ump has no idea where the ball is intended to go. Because then a lot of times if you miss your spot, he'll call it a ball, even though because the catcher has to like reach over. So you see Trevi set up and then go down. And then there was one that was like high and inside. And instead of coming straight back up, he went around and caught it that way. And then he went around and caught it down. I fell into a trance where like when we watch Baggage and I just watched Jerry Springer's hands, that's what I was doing with Trevino. It was like I had a blur on everything else. And I was just watching him circumnavigate these balls. It truly is an art form that's going to be gone in 2 years. So, but it's awesome.
It's awesome. I mean, those balls he's getting out of the dirt on a high rate is pretty nuts. And it's because of the same technique.
Everyone's saying that was Higgy, not Trevi in that game too.
Was that Higgy?
I don't know. What I was talking about, I think game 1 is when I was watching Trevi do that.
Because he came in for Higgy. Let me see when. I'll double check because I may have done that wrong. Carpenter hits for Higgy, bottom 9, and then Trevino comes in. That was Higgy, so my apologies to Trevi. Higster.
So Higgy gets the IT support award.
Higgy gets the IT support award.
That's huge for Higgy.
Everything I say stands.
Well, everything I was saying was about Trevino. Higgy's good, but he's not that like that. Higgy's a little more old school, where just like the little flick, like catches it, then moves.
The casual.
Trevino catches it on his way in, and we're talking about 100-mile-per-hour sinkers.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Nuts.
Sorry, Higster. I tweeted it out. It was Higgy during. That was stupid.
That was stupid. It's okay. We all forgive you.
I got in my head with the 4 awards thing, but now I'm excited to hear one.
Oh, I'm giving out the Gonorrhea Award.
The Gonorrhea Award?
Yep.
An infection caused by a sexually transmitted bacterium that infects both males and females. Often infects the urethra, rectum, or throat. In females, it can also infect the cervix. Commonly spread during... Okay. Where are you going, Jim? Gallo?
No.
Tough guess, whatever I said, so...
That was rude. Carpenter. Band of Brothers. Staff Sergeant William Garnier, nickname Gonorrhea.
Yeah.
At one point, he sees Bull Randleman, both actors, fans of John Boy Media, and I've interacted with. I didn't put that together till now. They thought he was dead, and they finally see him. And when he sees him, Garnier says, "I don't know whether to slap you, kiss you, or salute you." And that's kind of how I feel about Matt Carpenter right now. Like sometimes I think he's worthy of a salute, and that mustache is so manly. Yeah. Some of the plays in right field, just not knowing where to throw the ball at all.
Yeah.
Maybe a little slap. That great play on the warning track, big old slap.
Yeah.
And then the home run, a kiss. So Carpenter put me through the ringer emotionally. The first catch was rude to then kind of botch a couple later on. Because that first catch, I was like, my goodness, we got something brewing here. But then the home run, like, what do you do about this?
You have to play him. He's hitting at an unreal level. I know, you were digging into the three at-bats thing with Marwin. They posted the stat tonight in games he starts. He's like a 1.3 OPS player. And that's a guy you have to play.
Oh, the Yankees have a lot of guys they have to play that they don't play. They have a lot of guys you shouldn't play, and they play them.
Well, Carpenter, you have to play. And they kind of can. So him sitting out both of the first 2 games, I mean, that's pretty inexcusable, especially after he does it again tonight. So, yeah, man, I mean, that's keep rolling the ball out there and see what happens. I don't think you'd slap Matt Carpenter. That's my only.
I wouldn't, but maybe Wild Bill would.
Right. You said you might give him a little slap?
Yeah, little one. For the good catch, a big one. Like on the ass.
I'm going to give out the Choppin Wood Award.
Oh. You are, huh?
Sure am.
IKF?
It's not going to IKF.
Why'd you say we were talking about him and you said you're going to hear more about this guy later? So we paused the conversation.
No, I was saying in game, I missed it in game 2. I wish you'd said it then. I said we were going to talk about it later in this game. He had one of his patented throwing errors.
No, I didn't bring it up because I thought you were hinting at an
I
award.
said later this game, so I'm sorry about the miscommunication there between us.
Well, he does have his 5 minutes scheduled at the end of every episode.
Right. So I don't want to cut into that time anyways. James, I decided I'm going to take a high road. And it's actually not a fully high road. But it's something cool that deserves to be talked about and probably didn't get talked about enough. The big fella, Giancarlo Stanton, he hits a pretty badass homer in the second game to tie it up. It's a porch job, and it's a homer that only he can hit. That fastball up and in, the pitcher's just astonished that that's a home run. But Jim, it's not fully tied to that. I did want to highlight that. It's Giancarlo's new party trick he's busted out. Is that in the at-bats where he expects himself to hit a home run, a la tonight against, I think it was the pitcher before
Minor.
Revere Martin. I think it was one of the relievers in between. But he does a new chopping wood thing where he's mad that he didn't hit the home run. So he brings the bat directly over his head and throws it down. We've now seen him do this in, I think, like the last 2 or 3 series, that it's now a signature move.
He's been doing that. He's just been good for a while. I used to GIF it every time in 2019 or 2018 because he would do it this way. And if the dugout's behind him, he would get in that position, come down and over his head backward. I have some GIFs. One time he went through his legs backwards. He gets very mad.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while because he's been good.
It's been a while.
It's a cool homer. It's like a unicorn in a lot of sense. Only stadium, only guy.
I mean, the fact it's a home run is bizarre on multiple levels.
Yes. He's having a weird season, man.
He's been slumping for a while, but every time he hits the ball, it's a home run. So it's kind of not a slump, but it is.
Yeah.
Like he had a slump early in the year that did hurt his numbers, but this latest slump hasn't because he was hitting like at least a homer.
Like
series.
he's tied for 6th in baseball with 23 home runs. He's hitting 232, and he's just not that guy. Like he hits the ball so hard that Stanton like is kind of naturally like a 270 type hitter. He's been in a funk, but whenever he hits a ball, it's a home run. That it's a weird kind of end to the first half for him.
BBD, can you put the tweet I just sent you on screen at some point? Because
I'm figuring out if I can put it on screen. I did put it in the chat for our live audience.
okay,
Giancarlo Stanton last 30 games started. 173 batting average, 295 on base, a 509 slugging. He's got 19 hits and 12 of them are homers. So it's bizarre because He's really not that guy. I mean, he's a career 267 batting average hitter. With the Yankees, he's been a 263 hitter.
I wanted to level out. Like the home runs are good. But I'd like a little more day in, day out. I'm tagging Talkin Yanks, but this is the one I'm talking about where he goes backwards. It cracks me up whenever I see it. I'd like him to mix that in even when he's playing well.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
fair.
cool. Oh, here, BBD's got it up. Boom.
The toss.
Then he calls himself a stupid motherfucker.
The two-out toss.
Yeah. Bam. It's cool.
That's how you end an inning.
Okay. My final award is the deciding between a couple here. I still have 3 available.
We got 3. Is he going to combine them to get a multiple? We've seen that before. He's looking. He's thinking.
You've never. I don't do
the
that shit.
eyes squinted. The smile got a little tighter.
I'm giving the Cheryl Yoast Award.
Cheryl Yoast, the wife of Coach Yoast from Remember the Titans. If I
He was
remember
wifeless.
correctly. Is that the daughter then?
Yeah.
Oh man, if you Google Cheryl Yoast, you just get a bunch of Cheryl Yoasts who exist on this planet.
Just random Cheryl Yoast.
Yeah.
Like there's not a dominant Cheryl Yoast out there.
No, it's literally like a pick'em of 8 Cheryl Yoasts.
I got all Haley Panettiere, whatever her name is.
Ooh, he's lining up off sides. All-time movie quote. You are giving it to DJ LeMahieu.
No, wrong.
I knew it wasn't.
I'm giving it to Brian Cashman.
Here we go.
Now's not the time to be proud. Hey, coach. Now's not the time to be proud. Gallo can't play against Boston. Gallo can't play. DFAM. What are you going to get for him? A 19-year-old 40th round reliever in A-ball right now? Not worth it. He's honestly the worst baseball hitter I've seen on a field, and it's unfathomable that he is still on the roster. Cash, call people up. Florial. I know you're not calling him up because you're trying to trade him because that's the only reason that, like, Andy Har got up before him, and, like, because Florial's, like, crushing it right now, and he only has one option left, so he's not going to be on the Yankees for long. So I feel like he's definitely trying to trade Florial while his stock is at an all-time high. But let's make some moves out of break. Like, if you don't do Gallo now, which you won't, I understand it. Out of the break, revamp, make some moves. Like, now's not time to be proud. You got guys that are not on the postseason roster. So let's come out of the break. So we might be going in on a little sour note. We're coming right back out 2 versus Boston or Houston.
Double header.
Now's not the time to be proud. You built a fucking awesome team. So many of the things that you did are working. Some aren't. You know, Ed Henry's kicking my ass out there.
I could sure use a hand.
You sure use a hand. Yeah.
I watched it.
You've seen Remember the Titans?
It's a good flick, man.
Really? Yeah. It's a really
Has
good
our
flick.
like younger audience not? Like,
Superman.
BBD hasn't seen it. I thought we might have been dating ourselves for a second there. Like, I think we would be devastated to find out tomorrow how much of our office hasn't seen Remember the Titans.
Dude, I don't know though, because like I've seen Hoosiers in
Sure.
Major League.
Right. We
And
grew up
Bull
in a different
Durham.
era.
I've also seen those.
We're going to office poll tomorrow.
Fridays are weird.
Fridays are weird.
Yeah, no, the Friday crowd definitely hasn't seen it.
Okay. We'll save it for couple weeks then, because we're going.
That's
to the All-Star game.
unbelievable, BBD. How have you not seen Remember Titans?
I think you'd be sad when you get the Office pulled back.
To be
and
fair,
we'll make everyone.
No, I
watch
don't
it.
think
not
so,
about
Jake.
that
It's not like
specifically. There's a lot
random
of movies
one. It's
that
like, have you seen
I haven't
Forrest
seen.
Gump?
Yeah.
Like it's in that class of like you see it. It's just the movie you see.
I just
No,
think
I think I'm wrong for having not seen it. I have a bunch of movies like that.
because that was the movie that was played on every bus that ever played movies on it, and I think this generation's gotten away from that because they've all had like cell phones and shit.
Bus movies.
Bus movies. I mean, remember that you got on a bus and remember the Titans was playing.
Yeah. What are we watching, Coach? Remember the Titans.
Oh, field trip to what are some of those legendary Connecticut field trips? Did you go to that old village? The village that was still like
We used to just go to the
being
dump.
pilgrims? Excuse me?
We used to get all the recycling from the school,
Right.
bus it to the dump.
Mm-hmm.
Greens, clears, browns, all the bottles. So that's the Cheryl Yoast Award. I've definitely given an award based on that quote before.
Sturbridge Village. Shout out. The real ones know. What an incredible field trip. You're churning butter. This is sweet.
Let me do one.
I'm
Taft
I'm
in
12.
Illinois,
Okay.
5th grade.
What is it?
It's like a place where like you live in like dorms, like inside like bunk bed dorms, and you do all this like wilderness retreat shit in 5th grade.
Sure. Oh, yeah. We did that in 6th. Nature's Classroom, we called it.
Yeah, that's lame. But ours, we were just like, it was the Taft field trip.
Nature's Classroom was kind of flames emoji.
That's when we were taught that if you chew on the mints, they spark in your mouth. I kissed a girl. It was cool.
I saw we had like an exchange teacher. She saw snow for the first time. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
I let out a couple gasps. It almost seemed like the pitchers were trying to see how down the middle they could throw it to Joey.
Did you see the stat I tweeted?
Which one?
Out of the last 129 pitches in the zone,
Yeah.
he has 4 hits. One of them is the triple that was dropped, and another is the squib in game 1 against the Reds.
Right.
So he has 2 hits.
Yeah.
Last 129 pitches in the zone. Like we are running into unfathomable, awful stats for Joey Gallo, and Chris Davis had $100 million and the Orioles couldn't just do it. The Mets had Robinson Cano, 30 million, and they just said, fuck it.
Okay.
Gallo's got what? 4 mil? 5? I have no idea what
Left
10?
on the year?
Yeah. Like, what are they even ditching? And he's not going to be around. So call up Lo Castro and have him play left field. Call up Florial, have him play left field. Call up Andujar, have him play left field. Start Marwin Carp. Like, what are you doing? It's just like, it's just a weird thing of pride now. You're not upping his value. The stats are so bad. He's not going to run into 2 homers and all of a sudden someone's going to be like, oh, yeah, now we'll give you a double-A reliever. It's cut bait. Now's not the time to be proud. Ed Henry's kicking your ass out there.
As I have been for about 5 weeks now, I'm interested to see how the story ends.
Joey Gallo worked 2 walks tonight. In the last 129 pitches in the zone, he has 2 legitimate hits. If the pitcher doesn't throw him strikes, that's not Joey Gallo doing well. That's the pitcher doing not well. Is that the end? Did you give out 2 awards?
I gave out 2.
I also had the Virat Kohli Award.
Okay.
Just one of the best cricket batsmen to ever do it. Going through an awful slump.
Yeah.
Pakistan batter tweeted out like, "We're with you," like this too shall pass.
Right.
And just gonna throw that Judge's way.
Okay.
Just like, we're with you, dude.
Oh, the homer
good.
tonight ended it.
Well, I thought the homer against would they play before Boston?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I thought that one against Banuelos. I thought that one might have ended it.
I mean, that was Manny being a friend.
He also put one to the corner again in Fenway. Well, he had a nice hit, but yeah, I don't know. Still not him.
That's where I obviously, I mean, a Yankees podcast. So, but that inside out opposite field 435, that's the best of Aaron Judge. So I think he limped for a little bit. I think against Boston, I think he was trying to turn on the ball too much. I mean, it sounds so obnoxious being fucking me and talking about Aaron Judge's swing. I'll be completely honest with you people. But I think we might be in tune for a big Boston series to bring him back into the All-Star break. Get near that one dotter again, Judgy.
And then my other award was Be a Lot award.
Be a lot.
It's a new phrase I started saying tonight out of nowhere.
Really?
I tweeted about it.
Really?
Yeah. On the Glaber home run.
Yeah.
I thought you said you read my tweets, man.
I read some of them.
On the Glaber home run,
I'll bring up your Twitter.
Yeah. 2 hours ago, I was screaming, be a lot at the Glaber ball, and I've never yelled that about a potential homer before. I've now trademarked it. Tie game.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because at 9:36,
yes,
I yelled be a lot when Judge hit his home run. And I tweeted that out. I tweeted that out. And I think it was before you.
No, I don't think so.
It was. It was.
No.
I mean, there's receipts. It was 9 minutes before yours.
Well, I typed mine out, and I sat on it for a while.
It's a sneaky good baseball phrase, I think.
Be a lot.
Be a lot.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to add it to my a hit, a base hit.
A base hit. That's broadcasting stuff.
To my collection of two
Be a lot will be a good broadcasting term, too. Be a lot.
I hope when we start live streaming games down the stretch in the postseason.
There's such desperation in that.
There's such desperation.
Be a lot.
Yeah. I hope that when we start doing, or we got a couple more with yes, and then down the stretch in postseason, I hope we remember that we want to be guys that yell be a lot.
I could see that stick.
I like it.
I hit a base hit. That's me broadcasting a game. Be a lot. You can yell that off the bat for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just fan stuff.
Be a lot.
Be a lot.
It's also like a life lesson.
I was kind of raised the opposite.
Oh, look at yourself. You're a lot. With that goatee.
My mom often said, why do all these parents care about their kids not being average? Average is good.
Average is good.
Average is great.
In life.
Sure.
Not in baseball.
Not when you see a ball hit.
Yeah.
It works in a lot of sports. Golf.
Well, I think it is a golf phrase, no?
Football. Golf's like be the right number, be the ball, be the club.
I think
it's not
be a lot. It translates most to golf in my head.
Easiest transitive, yeah. Those were your words?
That was cool. Yeah, that was what I had. Gonorrhea, be a lot, Virat Kohli, and Cheryl Yoast.
It's good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. The Yankees are good.
Did you see Rizzo fishing for Nestor?
Yes. I was trying to get the sound bite of him just saying, I caught a nasty one.
Yeah.
And I was going to like rid all the context and just have the audio and like we have a drop for it on the board. I thought that would be a good sound drop.
Put that with your Gonorrhea Award.
What the fuck did you just say?
I thought Mike King could have also been a Pride.
I thought Albert Abreu could also have been a Pride.
Ooh, okay.
And Nestor.
Yeah.
Some people in the chat are saying the 5 minute of IKF time should happen. He's hitting well with the bat right now. I think in July he has good numbers. I like that at bat where he actually took his A swing. I would fucking love to see that more. Statistically, he's bottom 10 player in the American League. Like I finally snapped.
Right.
People on here have heard me snap a bunch. But I finally snapped on Twitter, which reaches way more people than the podcast. And I posted like his stats. And then people argue with me. And I'm like, posting his stats comparative to the league.
Numbers.
And they're like, dude, he's not that bad. And I'm like, according to what? Because the stats say he's bottom 10. They're like, the batting average. He's 58th percentile. No one brags about that. So he is hitting right now. It'll taper off because he's had one hot stretch. This is his second, and then it'll go down. But he also made a routine error. And finally, Yes Network started like actually talking about it.
Yeah. Booney got asked a question.
Lied through his teeth.
Mm.
He's like, he's been great for us. He's had like 5 errors. I'm like, Boone, you guys told him to start throwing bounce passes because he's so bad at throwing. You had a coaching session to tell your shortstop not to throw the ball at your first baseman's chest. So, that's not like what you tell your good defensive shortstop. So, don't go into the United States blind.
Is that a baggage quote?
Yeah. Like, let's not pretend we're blind. Like, I understand you're not going to dish your own player, and that's fine. And I don't want you to. So, sure, lie a little. But, like, you can't do a thing where, like, Rizzo and them are like, yeah, just fucking bounce it way earlier. And that'll help you throw better. And then be like, no qualms. Yeah. What are you talking about? So, anyway, Peraza's playing well. He had a home run, a double today. Dude, the other thing is, I don't even know if Peraza's going to be good.
No.
Like, I'm such a cynical person on prospects. But, like, what's the worst that can happen? He's bottom 10%, bottom 10 player in the AL. We have that.
Right.
Statistically speaking.
Using numbers. Yeah,
like, I mean, that's not my opinion.
True story.
It's the numbers.
We had a busy day today. We went to the warehouse. Got dinner with my sweet Jessica,
dude,
at a restaurant, and got a nice seat right before 7 p.m., right before the Yankees game. Had an angle on the TV. Hadn't looked at the lineup or anything. And then I saw one of the first plays was a ground ball to short, and I was like, "Oh, that's Marwin."
Yeah.
Because of the way he approached and attacked the ball and everything. So that's, Jimmy, that's why that's the only part in your speech you're missing there, is that even if Peraza's not the answer, Marwin's a potential better answer. And then even after
on
that,
both sides of the ball.
Even after that, Tyler Wade is the insurance answer. So
Sean, who's in the chat, Sean likes IKF. He just said putting the ball in play has value. I fully agree.
Yeah.
But show me the value of Kiner's balls in place. Because according to all of the stats, there's no value been added.
Right.
Like, that's what it's not opinion based. objectively bottom 10 player in the AL.
Like IKF putting the ball in play is in the same pool as Gallo walks a lot. It's like, yeah, like
Same
at
thing.
least he does
Same
that.
thing. Like Gallo walks a lot because he
That's the least
he
he could
doesn't
do.
hit.
Yeah.
The least he could do is put the ball in play.
Like
a
what's
lot.
Gallo's on base?
It's still below 3.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he doesn't get any hits. His walk rate is still
290.
great, but
He has a higher slugging than IKF. And there's our 5.
There you go.
that was 5.
Some people are like,
Oh boy.
just stop complaining. They're not going to do anything. He's here for the season. Unless it's drastic improvement on routine balls, if he's the starting shortstop for the playoffs, it tops the Mike Ford pinch hit. It tops the Davey opener and Hap Bolt guy as this, like, the most brain numbing playoff decision you could have, to run a shortstop out there that botches routine balls in the postseason.
I mean, this may answer the question for people, or you may take out a weapon against me, but playoff game, Joey Gallo in left field or IKF at shortstop?
Joey Gallo in left field.
You prefer that?
I'd rather Joey Gallo in left field than Kiner at short. If I have to choose one of the two, because more balls go to shortstop, involved in more plays.
Right. No, I think for people that have been listening, and again, I think I said this last time, if you're an IKF and a Gallo guy, like, whoa, we got to talk. I'll have what he's having. But yeah, I think that's just a good example of where you're at on it.
I can't believe he's still going.
Right.
We've seen players play worse and get faster boots. Fuck, dude. We saw Greg Allen came up and play really good.
You're right. We had to keep
And get
that a
booted.
secret.
Wasn't room on a team that
We had
wasn't
to keep
playing
that a
well.
secret till the wild card.
Yeah.
Ooh, Greg Allen, you're playing good. Let's keep you in AAA. Yankees are 62-27. Go beat up on the Red Sox.
They haven't looked good for a bit.
Yeah.
I do mean that. That Houston series was all like, they got no hit. They almost got no hit again. The A's series, they came back in every game off of one of the worst bullpens in the worst bullpen in the American League and the worst team in the American League. They had to come back in every game to win it.
Guardians,
And
they look good.
Guardians, they looked good. Double header. They have way more depth, but they did look good. And then
They split with the Pirates.
split with the Pirates. They didn't really look good in Boston. And then they look bad here. So, like, we haven't seen the well-oiled, looking good, winning with ease in a bit. I know they're still winning in that stretch, so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, from where we were, we are here. Probably still better than every other fan base, and we are spoiled. I'm just saying, we have not seen what we were seeing for a little bit now.
I think 13-11 in the last essentially month.
Yeah, I mean, this Red Series doesn't bother me at all. Each team should have walked away with 3 losses or 3 wins. The Boston series got wonky. They could have easily had that third game. Like, we're 2 double plays away from 2 wins, the Trevino turn and the Donaldson turn in Boston. And just baseball happens. Like, this was going to happen at some point. And I've been saying it since the first Red Sox series. 3 at home versus Boston. And they just lost 4 in a row. You can't full limp. I can give you a blip. You can't full limp.
I agree. A little nervous about this Boston series. Them seeing the same pitchers.
Cole at home.
I like that.
Win one of the first 2. Cole at home.
Yeah.
You know.
Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams.
Go Yankees.